Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian
What's going on, everybody?
and Waleed.
What's up, boys?
As you can see here in the title, we are here to talk The Real Love Boat, episode 7, currently setting sail on Paramount Plus, formerly of the CBS Armada. I'm just catching up here on the Love Boat. Brian and Waleed have been doing an awesome job. You guys as an audience have been engaging a lot. So I figured, you know what, it's time for me to get my passport, get on the boat, say hi to Jerry O'Connell, and see what's going on and what all the fuss was about. So I'm not going to change the format really here. Brian is still going to be captain of the ship. I'm just going to kind of go along for the ride here, but happy if any of you guys really only just watch us for our Love Boat coverage, you would see me hosting the other episodes for our other coverages as well. So Brian, take it away.
Okay, before you pass it to me though, I just because you haven't been on, what's like a quick general impression of the show to you?
I like it. I think it's kind of corny.
Yes.
It's like this show, it reminds me of like if you're a married couple, you'll get these references a lot. It's like when you go to like an all-inclusive resort and you make friends with the other married couples like at Sandals, and they become your friends for like a week, and it's like they're your vacation family, and you go and do all these corny little things with them and having dinner with them and doing all these things you have no business really doing with them. So I like it overall. I don't know how I would have felt about the kind of elimination system prior to this week. Like I like how they have it go this week where it changed with the couple choosing. I'm not sure how I would have felt about the like lottery system and all the other things going on, the bingo, the Thursday night at bingo in the boat. But yeah, overall I like it. I hope that they it seems like it's found its groove too from like an audience standpoint once it moved to Paramount Plus. So I think it's definitely much more of like a streaming show, and hope that it maybe gets another loop around, but I'm enjoying it so far.
Another destination
or one more tour.
Right. Yeah, it's funny you say the elimination portion because it looks like they're gonna next week kind of contradicts what they did this week. So I'm really in, like, I don't know, like we've been talking this show up the last 2 weeks, Waleed and I, and I just, this episode to me was good, but I just don't know after what we saw from the previews. I don't know why they're changing. How many episodes are there? They just keep adding people.
Oh, so you mean there's more people coming?
Yeah, it sounds like there's more people coming. So like I thought like this was the end game. I thought we were in the end game here.
It's gonna have to think about this. It probably would have had to match up with Survivor and Amazing Race, right? Because that's originally how it was slotted. So it probably was all going to end the same week. So there's 5 teams left in the Amazing Race. So next week it'll go down to 4. Then the following week so there's like 3 to 4 weeks left of Amazing Race at least. So maybe it would have ended with Amazing Race, but Survivor's got to have at least 7-8 weeks left because there's they got like 10 people still.
I mean, I don't want to bury the lead here, but like one of the teams went home today. If they're bringing in new people next week, that kind of just like diminishes it to me because like you can't tell me that new people are coming in and they deserve to be here later in the game than Nathan and Tyler. I don't know. We'll get to that point.
Tyler looked dead inside though.
It looks like they bring in 4 new guys. Do they bring in 4 new girls too? Because I think it's like 4 new guys they bring in next week.
Really? Okay. I see. They weren't wearing masks.
I have no idea. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I thought it was like a mask thing, but I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't even matter. We're talking about the future here, but I was a little hesitant watching it. Like I just thought like the last 2 weeks they were kind of setting something up. Like, okay, and they even said they actually, because me and Waleed have been wondering this. They've been hinting at like, how do you win this game? And you know what I mean? Like, and Daniel finally said it. Like the couple that is the most compatible wins the show. So like to me, if they're going to eliminate Nathan and Tyler, and then they're going to bring in new people, and the end game is here, well, that doesn't, to me, it just kind of made not a lot of sense to me. So.
Yeah, it seems like one of those type of things. Like if you're bringing people in late, it's like almost like that Bachelor in Paradise type
I
thing,
just don't like that.
Like they have no shot, and it's
right.
Almost, and if somehow one of them flukes and wins, I'd probably be annoyed too if I was one of the people that have been setting sail the whole time. Istanbul's a cool place though. Really a cool location. The Bazaar challenge I thought was really dope.
Yeah, no, I have family that's been to Turkey a lot these past couple of years actually, and yeah, they all told me like the Bazaar is like one of the it should be considered like one of the wonders of the world because it's like there's no shopping place like it. So
I would love to go.
It had to have been modernized, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because like I would have thought that would have been more of like when they're like, oh, it's a covered market, but then it looked like a mall. It looked like the KOP mall.
Are you not allowed to run?
I don't know.
Has that been a thing in the other challenges? Or is that like a Turkish thing, or is like Waleed? Is that like something like is that a Middle East thing? Like at all? Like are you not allowed to like run around? Is that like?
I mean, no, I don't think so at all. I mean, you can, but I guess
maybe it's like a bizarre rule. Like they have a
rule. No sense of urgency.
Well, maybe they just say you could tell though that they were all kind of like speed walking, like they were trying to push it. But I think there's probably a rule like literally no running in the bazaar.
Could be. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure, but like
no yelling on the bus.
You have to have one heel on the ground at all times.
Down in front.
Are you allowed to run at the bazaar in Istanbul?
Yeah.
Continue, Brian.
Okay, so before we get to that, I just want to bring up something that before we got to the challenge of an important note. Nathan brings up that he doesn't like cheating, and that's gonna play a part later when Tyler got saved by the bell, like in like middle school, where like, all right, it's about to be a pop. You have to give your book report, and the bell rings, and they're like, oh, gotta go.
She literally said out loud, "Oh, don't have time to answer that question."
I thought that was really funny. I just wanted to squeeze that in.
I did too.
Before we got to the challenge week, and this is another thing. Like me and Waleed were like. Last week we're like, what are the point of these challenges? And this was one. They finally had one that like had some consequence. So they had to go to the market that we're teasing to, the Grand Bazaar, and each team had to find 3 things. And the first 3 teams back were safe from elimination, and then the bottom 2 were in the elimination pool. And I actually really like this because it had a couple things for couples, like communication, you're put under pressure, stress. I don't know. I thought it was a good test for people that I thought were going to be in the end game. So I kind of like enjoyed that each team went through like their own version of like, what would you call? I don't even know. Like blank.
Adversity.
Yeah, adversity.
Yeah, each challenge, it wasn't like one leg is the one that screwed everyone up, right?
Right.
Everyone kind of got individually lost in individual sections. But to be fair to me, like the maps look pretty good. I thought they drew them pretty good maps.
I don't know how you can be lost.
Like I mean, I don't know. There was one team that was more lost than all the others for sure.
Yeah, Jordan and Kendra, they didn't even finish.
They couldn't find any of the stations, any of the 3 stations at all. So I mean, I was like, I was surprised by that. I was like, I don't know how you can't find one.
And based off the map, it didn't look like it was that big. And there's like,
it's big. I'm looking at one right now.
I know it's big, but the map they had didn't look that big. Like there was like, you need to go to this blue dot, this white dot, and this yellow dot. And I don't know. No one asked for, like, not a lot of people asked for directions. Like they almost felt like they were just kind of there.
They
looked a challenge of consequence. They weren't really trying.
Like literally 3 sets of parents set loose to go like Christmas shopping in the KOP mall.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably, if people don't, King of Prussia Mall is what we're referring to here. All where we grew up in that general.
I don't know how they didn't like the Turkish coffee. My God, I love Turkish coffee.
I like Turkish. I mean, do you have to throw the salt in it though?
No, not necessarily. I mean, it's got a very bitter taste.
I'm saying, was the salt like actually something that people do, or was that just part of the challenge to be like make it shittier?
I don't think they put salt in it.
They did.
Was that what they put?
That was
salt. The girl and the couple had to put salt in, and the guy had to drink it.
Yeah, see, I drink that stuff without salt.
Well, I would hope so. I'm saying, like, is that a Turkish thing?
Yeah,
someone in the comments, let us know. We have smart comments.
I never, honestly, I have family that's made Turkish coffee when I go overseas to like Jordan or one of my home countries and stuff. But like seeing family, they never put salt in it, so I don't know.
Is salt out with the coffee?
No, not at all.
Okay, so all right, commenters, let us know if that was just like a physical challenge.
Yeah, I wonder if it was just like them trying to have something like a twist, and it's like it's not like that big of a deal. All right, so you had to find the 3 things. You had to find a lamp that could turn on in a lamp shop. 3 puzzle pieces of a ring. Am I saying
that was
probably?
I thought that was pretty tough.
Yeah.
I guess.
You had to flick them all open. And then the last one, like we were alluding to, is you had to drink Turkish coffee with salt in it, and we don't know what that means. Like, why? I guess like Jerry was like, "Oh, you just got to do it," but I don't know. We were kind of hoping for some deeper meaning here, but it doesn't seem like it's that. Like Bill said, let us know in the comments if that is a thing. So Bill, you think the puzzle, the ring thing was most? I didn't think anything's were difficult.
One of the most widely known customs is when Turkish coffee is doused with a large spoonful of salt served by the bride to the groom.
Okay.
Oh, I guess that's the tradition why they were doing it for this one. Then.
Cool.
Interesting.
Huh.
But yeah.
I love espresso. So like that's kind of like what Turkish coffee more is like. I don't need salt in it though.
Yeah. Normally it's not served with salt. So that's why it was weird to me. I was like,
why couldn't they explain that? That took you 30 seconds.
Yeah, man, because I'm the entertainment director of the cruise. I'm coming in season 2.
Oh no, that you don't have, I don't know if you have as good of that guy's voice is pretty good.
I have better sea legs.
Yeah, your sea bands on. Speaking of the salt, Daniel said it tasted like he was drinking the Mediterranean Sea. Thought that was funny. We alluded to Jordan and Kendra just getting completely lost, but other than that, I didn't think they made it. They did as much editing as they could to make it look close, but I just don't think it was.
Wasn't at all.
No, I don't think it was either.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel and Shea-Lynn, they've been dominating.
Yeah, they might as well put their beds in the captain's quarters because they're always there.
Yeah,
they should have a key to the captain's
quarters. And at this point, I mean, like, meanwhile, he talked about this last week. It's like we want to see other people there. I feel like it's just constantly, but I mean, they're good. They're compatible. So I mean, they're winner. They're winner.
Insert Jordan shrug. It's like,
yeah. I mean, what do you want us to do? Okay. And last week I didn't have any pictures in there, but I'm gonna pop these pictures in. This is what Tyler looks like.
And dead in.
No,
I'm waiting for the next guy.
And this is what Sydney looks like. No, I already have Dustin, and Dustin's already in there. I had pictures of him because that was like the fringe episode when they went to Paramount, so people were still talking about it on the internet. So somebody had those pictures for me.
Nathan looks like dead inside to me.
He's a day oneer.
Yeah, he's got dead eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He's the baseball player. Okay, so the order: Daniel and Shea-Lynn, like we alluded to, Marty and Emily second, Sydney and Dustin were the surprise third pick. And then we had Nathan and Tyler, and then Kendra and Jordan just gave up. So to me, they should have just been eliminated from that performance. Like
they just showed up late. Yeah, showed up late on Black Friday to the mall, so they said, "Forget it. The deals are taken. All the TVs are gone."
Right. And how do you walk by? And Kendra was like, "We've walked by the store. How do you walk by a lamp store?" Like I understand the rings and the coffee, but not a lamp store.
They're tourists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. They must not have that many lamp stores in Canada. Anything else from that anybody wants to talk about?
I think the bazaar is cool. It's like something. I think Istanbul has always been a cool city to have on the list to visit. But like now, knowing there's some cool like just kind of goofy things like that, where like I can go to like the world's largest flea market, basically.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, so we finally. Tyler is back in class with Nathan, and she tells him what happened, that she had cheated on her high school sweetheart while she was in the Army, and this happened, I guess, while she was away or stationed somewhere, and she didn't like the way that it made him feel and how she felt, and it's kind of similar to Nathan explained how his brother was cheated on and it affected him. So I was expecting Nathan to just kind of like, because just the way he's been this entire season, I was surprised that he was willing to be that like empathetic at that moment.
I think the circumstances of like where she was and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's more empathetic because at the same time, he really does like her.
Yeah.
If it's a girl that he's not really feeling it much with, then he's going to be much more judgmental, probably. But
yeah, I think if Elisa did that, he probably would have been.
Oh yeah. Well, Elisa mentioned that she has cheated once, and he was like much.
Yeah, he didn't like that.
On his face, he was much more judgmental about.
But like, still stuck with it for some reason.
Yeah, but he likes Tyler a lot, so I guess he's willing to forgive once, for it and let it slide.
So this is actually something that we can actually debate on, because I found this part of the episode pretty interesting. So Daniel and Shea-Lynn have to pick the team or the couple they want to send home, and it's kind of just like, do you want to send the threat or the one that has the least to them the least amount of connection. And I just want to know what you guys thought before I kind of share mine.
I mean, you guys would probably have a little bit more of an informed opinion based off how the show has progressed, but like, get rid of the threat, dude.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's like, the people who can compete in challenges, that's probably going to that has a lot more potential moving forward to the end of the game. I mean, it was obvious it's Nathan and Tyler. I
Yeah.
mean, if they all know for a fact that like Jordan and Kendra couldn't even find their way around the bazaar and couldn't
Right.
didn't accomplish anything, if they all know that, then it's like, oh yeah, well then keep them around. They're not a threat in these challenges at all. So, I think that they both have good connections though, both couples, but you gotta kick out the threat.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Even I just don't even think Jordan and Kendra, like, they're just kind of there. So I thought they put it best. It's like they're not really fooling anybody. And then they can also use them as like, hey, we saved you, kind of stuff that they do like on the challenge and things like that. So that's why I'm interested. I wanted this to continue, and like, what's next week going to be like? Is it just going to be back to the normal, and maybe next week? We just don't know, and it is sad to see Nathan. I like Tyler. What we had the short time that we had with her, and I mean Nathan was growing on me. I don't know about you, Waleed.
Yeah, no, he was. Yeah, I mean, I thought he was a complete stiff the entire season until finally, when Tyler came on the boat, he started opening up and he started showing more humor and more of a personality. So yeah, I mean, felt for him. Did want him to stick around. But I have a little bit of hope that they could maybe make it work out outside the show off the boat.
Yeah, I don't remember where they live.
I
If you know
think
how I
she
feel
lives.
about geography.
I think she mentioned she lives in Florida. I forget where he lives. I don't know where she lives in Florida, but he lives somewhere else, I'm sure. But I mean, they said that they're going to try and make it work outside the show. I mean, it seemed like they were pretty genuine about that. Jordan and Kendra, that's one that I'm like, I don't know, off the boat, I feel like maybe reality will hit both of them in the face and it won't work. So
Right, and they live both are from Canada, and Canada's pretty big.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Canada's huge.
So, we don't know exactly.
This isn't looking promising right now, guys.
Right. I'm just bummed because I wanted Tyler to stick around because she actually gave us some love on our video last week, and it's a shame that she's gone because it would that's
well, hopefully it means maybe we can get her.
Yeah, we can snag her. Well, I don't know, but hopefully there's a reunion. I'd like to know like where these two are, and I also want to ask you guys, like, do you feel like when these people are eliminated, like, just more sense of like a normal person when we watch compared to these other shows we watch, like The Bachelor, where it's like there's not they're sad they're leaving, but like they're not like it's not the same.
I do like that. It's like,
Or do you disagree, Bill?
No, I mean, no, go ahead, Wally. You go first.
No, I was gonna say, like, I mean, for the most part, I do like the cast, and that's what's honestly like redeeming this show. I feel like they bring on not only the men but also the women, like well put together people, that are you don't. I mean, they all seem like they're in it for the right reasons. I'm sure there's some that like aren't at the right stage in their life and they're maybe on there for some clout, but
Dean.
you can't really tell though.
Our buddy Dean, but he's gone.
He might have been like one of the few that could like stand out for clout chasing, but everyone else seems to be like there for the right reasons at least, and that's why I feel like it kind of like redeems itself in that point. Everything else about the show is cheesy. The title, the name of the show is cheesy. The score is very cheesy.
But we're still here.
Yeah, I mean, we're still here, but like everything else kind of redeems it though. They bring on some good people, so I kind of like that.
Bring us down, Bill.
Bachelor, they don't. I feel like I'm sick and tired of that whole cast. So
no, I'm not like anti this show. I'm really not. But I think like I like the cheesiness factor, and I do like that they are more like real people. So I do wish this show was a little less like Bachelor in Paradise and a little more like Jersey Shore, say. Like I wish they were like living on this boat for like a solid month and they were like working on the boat kind of thing, and they were like becoming part of like the crew, right? Because it's supposed to be like the real love boat, and
it sounds like Below Deck.
Yeah, I guess like, but like a cruise ship, right? They should be like the entertainment people, or then they're working in like the serving thing, like like Jersey Shore, they're working at a goddamn ice cream shop.
Yeah, no, that actually would be cool.
So that's what I kind of like. I quickly realized from like obviously from like watching the reviews we were doing that like, oh, this is like
it's like a dating show, but just a little more. Genuine.
If any of you are watching Paramount Plus, people like if you like my idea, even if you got to make it a different show, that's basically a ripoff of Below Deck. That's fine. That's everything's a ripoff of something. So do Below Deck on a cruise ship and let them live there and work on it. But you have to let me be part of it.
Yeah, I mean that would be fun. I couldn't do that with my lifestyle anymore, but man, I would love to do that.
They probably have a nursery on the boat.
I don't think my wife would like that.
You never know.
You never know.
You're following your dreams, Brian, on the
right. My dream
seas.
is to be a deckhand on a cruise ship.
No, I'm saying like, say if we were like the producers of a cruise ship reality TV show, like I think she'll get on the cruise ship.
Right. Okay, so that wraps it up. We are going to be in Athens, Greece. So it looks like we went from like we're doing a little bit of a U, right, Waleed?
Yeah.
Is that what kind of what the
looks like? Yeah, they're looping around. It seems. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be back in Greece in Athens. Looks like next week they're bungee jumping. We'll see, we have new people coming on. So again, they're just switching it up on us again. So, but I'm excited about it, and we're again, Waleed and I and Bill are happy to see the engagement the show has had since we thought it was dead. It's kind of crazy that it makes
Jack and Rose.
It's just crazy, like in a good way though. Like it makes me happy that like a show that I was like, let's just try this out, and it's turning into a dips. It was like a stock market crash, but now it's like up. So
it's just the ghost ship.
Mm-hmm. But for myself, Bill, and Waleed, thank you for watching. We'll see you on the boat next week. Bye.
Ahoy.